And welcome to the show, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Oneida County Sheriff Rob Maciol is our guest, and whenever we ever have the good sheriff in, we talk about local law enforcement issues, and that's what we're going to do today. But first, we're going to say welcome. Good to see you again.
Thank you. Glad to be back. It's been a while.
It has been a while, yeah. Well, you're so busy. You're all over the place. Thank goodness you got a good secretary there that knows.
That's right. She keeps me focused, let me tell you.
Good.
Yep.
Lots of stuff going on since you were here last time. Last time you were here, we talked about the marijuana issue, and there's been development since then.
Yes. Obviously, marijuana was not legalized, which, in my opinion, is a great thing.
Just to interrupt you for
Sure.
a second. I thought, the last time you were here, I thought it was going to be legalized.
Everybody did, except for us. I mean, currently I serve also as the president of the New York State Sheriff's Association. And when I took office in January in that role, it was my mission and my colleagues' missions to stop this legalization of marijuana. First and foremost, we were going way too fast. But at the end of the day, a sheriff, each one of the counties has an elected sheriff. We take an oath to protect the people of our respective counties. And all of us felt that clearly, if marijuana was legalized, our counties would be less safe, speaking in general terms. But we got into specifics, just the traffic fatalities from people under the influence. There's no technology currently for law enforcement to measure a level of THC in a person's body, the chemical from marijuana. The long-term effects, the negative campaigning, which draws young children into smoking marijuana. There was so many things. So we partnered up with the New York State Chiefs Association, the Parent Teachers Association of New York State, AAA, and SAM, which stands for Smart Approaches to Marijuana. All of us got together and we worked our tails off for several months, providing various data, statistics, studies, meeting with assembly members, meeting with senators, meeting with staffers, meeting with people from the governor's office. It was quite a battle, unlike I've ever been done before. I've had more trips to Albany the past 6 months, I think, than I've had in the past 10 or 12 years. But at the end of the day, marijuana was not legalized. It was decriminalized. And so basically, a lot of the misdemeanor offenses were dropped down to violation offenses. It's still illegal to smoke in public. You still can't grow your own marijuana. You still can't, obviously you can't sell marijuana. Like I said, you can't smoke it in public places. You can only, if you have medical marijuana is your only option. If you do get charged, you're ticketed with an offense or a monetary fine only. You don't go to jail for marijuana possession. There's no criminal record. But it's still a challenge because, again, at the end of the day, it's still illegal federally. So, even the dispensaries that in other states that are selling it legally, they can't even put their money in the banks because it's against federal law. So therefore, most banks are federally insured. Therefore, it can't be deposited money from selling an illegal substance. So it's a mess. It truly is. And I think everyone just needs to slow down. And because again, we were opposing recreational use of marijuana, not medical marijuana. We put that disclaimer out there, every chance we got when we spoke, because we're not against it for medical purposes. We're talking for recreational purposes.
And what about is this going to come back up next session?
I'm sure it will.
Yeah.
But the one thing we did get the decriminalization in, and people were satisfied with that, so maybe it won't come back up right away. There was a myth that our jails are full of people for possessing marijuana. 100% incorrect. I have no one in my jail, nor have I ever, nor have any of my predecessors had people in our jail for marijuana possession. They might have been in on serious charges and marijuana possession was attached, or they might have been in for criminal sale of marijuana. No one has ever done jail time for simple possession of marijuana. It doesn't happen. That is a myth, and it's just unfortunate there was so much misinformation out there.
What about fireworks in New York State now? Aren't they legal in New York State?
They are legal. They can only be purchased in a couple of windows of time. Obviously, approaching the 4th of July and approaching the end of the year celebrations. Christmas, the week between Christmas and New Year's. That was a bill that we opposed for the most part. And the reason we opposed that is, in a situation like fireworks, I look to the professionals in the fire service. They are the people who have to go to the calls where people are injured and burned, dismembered. They were showing us information and data on the number of injuries and burns, It wasn't about because people felt we were hurting local business by not allowing them. It had nothing to do with that. Again, at the end of the day, my job is to keep people safe. And my brothers and sisters in the fire service, they're the ones who are telling us, please help us try to stop this because people will get hurt, people will get burned, people will get injured. We did lobby, as hard as we could, but at the end of the day, the decision was made to legalize it, here in our county. But, it is what it is. I'm not a big fan of it. You won't find fireworks at my house. And because again, that's for professionals. You go watch the fireworks displays. These are people who are licensed and trained, and they still get hurt and burned occasionally. And we've seen them get killed before. So why would we want our children to be messing with that stuff? So again, in my position, it's all about keeping people safe.
Did I understand you correctly, Sheriff, that there's only certain windows of opportunity
where you
to
can
sell
purchase them? Yes, I don't have the exact dates offhand, but I believe it's right around the 4th of July. We've got a window of days, and then again, the week between Christmas and New Year's, again for the New Year's celebration.
So that's why we see those tents popping up.
Portable tents popping up. And again, there are legitimate, don't get me wrong, there are legitimate fireworks dealers around. But in my opinion, it's not the ones that you see popped up on the street corner. You want to make sure you're buying a legitimate product, a legal product, because we get intelligence now and then that we have to send people out to check on that certain people or certain places are selling the stuff they're not supposed to be selling. Because anything that launches off the ground and explodes up in the air, that's always been illegal, and it is still illegal. Those types of devices, they won't, it's not anything, it's only certain things that have been legalized. So again, there's concerns about the roadside tent businesses. Moisture could be built up in some of these devices, and they can become ineffective or in some cases dangerous. So again, you got to be careful with that stuff. That's why I said I looked to the experts in that area, and they were not supportive of it, and that's why I wasn't either.
Okay, we got lots more to talk about. Oneida County Sheriff Rob Maciol is our guest. Short break, right back.